what might be the sweet spot in terms of growing the territory population, and how we can sort of maintain that balance between, an outback lifestyle as well as having, really strong amenity for our residents.
Well, strong amenity for our residents is something I'm getting after every day. That is, it's really with airfares,
right?
They're kind of they're kind of number one, because we want enough amenity here so that people go, we've got enough here that our family is happy. Good schools, and we've got $1 billion deal we did with the NT government to make sure that all Territory public schools are fully funded, 20 years ahead of what they were scheduled to be on track for. And housing, obviously, we've got less than 1% rental vacancy at the moment. We need more houses. And that can come into tension as well, because no one wants to have housing developments go on around them. But the reality is that, we can't all live on rural blocks. We need a bit of a mix. We need some medium density housing. We need housing where people can have their own little backyard, as every Australian should be able to have, if that's what they want. But, I've been funding pools. We've got brand new pools in Palmerston and in Casuarina now. Pratt Pool's new. Nightcliff, one of the most spectacular pools in the nation, is still in pretty good shape. Pools are important because it's hot. But also a youth engagement hub was one of the most important things to me. So for Casuarina, there's funding there to build that hub, and we really need to crack on with the new NT government and get that built in Casuarina. But also, we've got a big veteran and first responder community up here. So I've also got some funding there for some supported accommodation. What happened last week in Canberra, it was the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide was handed down. And one of the things it told us is that the real danger period for anyone, any occupation that is that has some element of PTSD involved, and I really want to give a shout out to all the police and emergency services here, because they're on the front line every day, sort of dealing with shocking things, so that the general public don't have to. That's a service they provide for our community. So the Scott Palmer Centre, named after Scott Palmer, who was a veteran Territory soldier who was killed in Afghanistan, named after him, in honour of him. We've got funding for that, so that if there's a point where a veteran or a first responder needs some help with accommodation, they've got somewhere to stay, we'll wrap around them with resources, and that sort of amenity is important as well. And then there's the people that want a Myers and that, and I just don't know if we're going to have the population in the near term to have a big apartment store like that. But the big thing I'm pushing for at the moment, in addition to airlines and airfares, and I'll get to that in a second, is an Aldi.